Hello and welcome back. In this podcast, we are deep diving into the works of one famous author and exploring the cultural impact she's had. I'm Emma.
And I'm Jack. Yes, in today's episode, we're going to talk about one of the most beloved authors of all time, Jane Austen. Whether you're a die-hard fan of Pride and Prejudice or someone who's just recently discovered her work, we'll unpack what makes Austen's novels so timeless.
That's right. Jane Austen, born in 1775 in Hampshire, England, has left us with a literary legacy that still resonates with readers today. Her sharp wit, keen observations on society, and unforgettable characters continue to influence not only literature, but also film, television, and popular culture. But what exactly makes her work so enduring?
Well, Emma, it's a combination of factors, really. For one, her novels tackle themes that are universal and relatable. Love, class, marriage, and personal growth. These are concepts that have shaped societies for centuries. And Austen's ability to critique those very same structures, with both humour and insight, is what makes her work so revolutionary, even today.
Let's break it down. Jane Austen published 6 major novels in her lifetime. Her first, Sense and Sensibility, came out in 1811. Then came Pride and Prejudice in 1813, Mansfield Park in 1814, Emma in 1815, Northanger Abbey, though it was published posthumously in 1818, and Persuasion, also published posthumously in 1818.
And when we think about Jane Austen, the first thing that often comes to mind is Pride and Prejudice and its iconic heroine, Elizabeth Bennet. She's independent, witty, and not afraid to speak her mind. Traits that were pretty revolutionary for a woman in the early 19th century, don't you think?
Absolutely. Elizabeth is a perfect example of Austen's skill at creating strong, intelligent women who challenge the traditional roles expected of them. But what makes her so memorable isn't just her rebellion against societal expectations. It's also her growth. Over the course of the novel, she learns to overcome her prejudices, particularly towards Mr. Darcy.
And speaking of Mr. Darcy, can we talk about how Austen practically invented the brooding hero archetype? Darcy's transformation from aloof, proud gentleman to a man who's willing to show his vulnerability is a pattern that has been echoed in countless romance novels, TV shows and films. And let's not forget, he's still extremely handsome.
Of course. There's something so timeless about that tension between the characters, one that goes beyond just love at first sight. They both have to grow, face their flaws, and make difficult choices. And isn't that the beauty of Austen's work? It's not just about the romance. It's about personal transformation, too.
Exactly. Austen was keenly aware of the social structures of her time. She often used her novels to critique the rigid class system and the limited roles available to women. Take Mansfield Park, for example. Fanny Price, the protagonist, comes from a poor family, and her rise through the social ladder is marked by both her moral integrity and the constraints placed on her by society.
Right. And the way Austen examines relationships in terms of economic and social standing is fascinating. Her characters often face dilemmas where love is tested by wealth, inheritance, and class. It's like a game of social chess, but Austen doesn't shy away from showing how those moves shape people's lives.
True. In fact, Sense and Sensibility is all about contrasting 2 sisters, Eleanor, the sensible one, and Marianne, the passionate, emotional one. Through them, Austen explores how different temperaments react to social expectations and romantic entanglements. The balance of logic and emotion becomes a central theme in so much of her work.
Speaking of different temperaments, let's talk about Emma. Emma Woodhouse is often considered one of Austen's most complex heroines. She's not a typical underdog. She's rich, privileged, and has a tendency to meddle in the lives of others. Yet, as readers, we watch her learn from her mistakes, and we end up rooting for her growth.
Right. And there's something so delightful about Emma's faults. She's a flawed character, but her charm lies in how she eventually recognizes those flaws. Austen really knew how to write these imperfect yet endearing characters. And even when her characters are being a little too self-assured or making mistakes, Austen's wit and humour always shine through.
Austen's humor is definitely one of the things that sets her apart. It's sharp, ironic, and often pokes fun at the very people who think they're above others. She's especially clever in how she uses dialogue. Her characters don't just say things, they reveal things, whether it's about themselves, their society, or each other.
Speaking of her characters, we can't forget the secondary characters who play such a pivotal role in her novels. Think about characters like Mr. Collins from Pride and Prejudice or Sir Walter Elliot in Persuasion. These characters are often exaggerated for comedic effect, but they also serve as reflections of the social norms of the time.
Absolutely. Austen's secondary characters often highlight the flaws in societal structures. And let's not forget her knack for creating these brilliant, memorable moments of humor. Whether it's Mr. Collins's awkward proposals or Mrs. Bennet's frantic matchmaking schemes, the comedy doesn't just entertain, it makes us reflect on how absurd some of these norms really were.
So what does all of this say about Jane Austen's legacy? I think it boils down to this. Austen understood people. She understood that human beings are complicated and that love, class, and ambition all intersect in surprising ways. Her characters might live in a different time, but the struggles they face are still relatable.
And perhaps that's why, 200 years later, we still read and reread her books. Austen captures the essence of human nature in a way that transcends time and place. Her works remind us that the issues we face, love, societal pressure, the pursuit of happiness, are not new. They've been with us for centuries.
Well said, Emma. So, whether you're reading Austen for the first time or the 50th, there's always something new to discover. And if you've never read her work, now might be the perfect time to dive in.
That's all for today's podcast. We hope you've enjoyed this deep dive into the life and works of Jane Austen. If you'd like to know more from us about Jane Austen, then why not look up our blog post?
Thanks for joining us. And remember, don't let societal expectations stop you from finding your own Mr. Darcy. Or Miss Bennet. Until next time, happy reading.